Okay, we'll be covering NumPy in this session. So what is a NumPy? So NumPy is a Python package. So the acronym NumPy stands for numerical Python. So at the very core of NumPy package is an n-dimensional array object. So NumPy provides the fast and efficient operations on n-dimensional arrays. Another advantage of using NumPy is it performs complex computations on the entire array, even without the need of using loops. Okay, so to start with, first we have to import the library, which we do like using import numpy as np, which is the common acronym which is used across the industry, np. So I'm using numpy, the version is 1.18. Since we said that at the core of numpy is a n-dimensional array, we'll start with a one-dimensional array. So how do we create a one-dimensional array in numpy? Let's take a tuple which has three elements, 1 2 3. Okay, and the simplest way to create a numpy array is we just say np.array, and then we provide the object. Here the object in this case is a tuple. What it creates is an one-dimensional array, and which gets assigned to array underscore tup. Okay, to check the type of a particular object, we can use the type function. So this returns that this is basically an n-dimensional array. Now we can create numpy array from a list also. Let's say we have a list called as even, which is a list of even numbers. Just like we used earlier, we can simply create a numpy array using np.array and then passing the object. The output is it creates a numpy array and which gets assigned to arr underscore even. Again, we can check the type. It's an numpy array, nd array. Now, to find out what is the data type of individual elements of a particular array, we can use dtype. So in this case, arr underscore even is the name of the array that we created, and we are using dtype to find out the data type of the individual elements of this particular array. So it says that all these elements are of integer type. Now we can also specify data type at the time of creation the numpy array. Let's say we have odd as a list of odd numbers, and we want to create a numpy array using this particular list, and we want the data type to be used as float. So we say np.array and the object on which we want to create numpy array, and we specify data type using dtype is equals to float. So it creates numpy array arr underscore odd. We can check its elements, and the data type of the individual elements of this particular array is float 64, basically float. Okay, okay. Now in an array, uh, there are dimensions because we use the term nd array. So nd means n dimensions. So here we have created one dimension array. So to check up dimension of a particular array, we use ndim along with the array name. So the array that we created is arr underscore odd. We are using dot ndim, and it says 1, which means this is a one-dimensional array. Another thing is dimensions are also called as axes in terms of Python NumPy array. So if somebody is using the term dimension or the axis, basically it's the same thing. Now, how to check the shape of an array? Shape basically helps to find out the number of elements in an individual axis of a given array. So let's say if we run the shape arr underscore or dot shape, we get 4 comma. It means that in this one-dimensional array there are 4 elements. These are the 4 elements that we created. Now there is another way to create a NumPy array using np.arrange function. So we use np.arrange, and then we specify the starting value, which is, let's say, 10, the top, that is the highest value, and this value is exclusive. This doesn't get included at the time of the creation of array. And the step size is the jump, how much the numbers should jump to generate the new number. So we say np.arrange, start is 10, stop is 20, step is 2. So it creates an array, and starting from 10, it will go up to 20, which is exclusive. That is, it will go up to 19, and at the jump of 2, so it got 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Now, how do we access individual elements of a NumPy array? Just like we do in a list or tuple, similarly, we specify the object and then we give the index. As you know, the index of objects start at 0 in Python. So to access the element at index 1, we give ARR 1. If you want to access elements from index 0 to 4, we give 0, the object name ARR, and then 0 colon 5, where 5 is basically is exclusive. So it will give out the elements from index 0 to 4. And if you want to jump, then we can specify the step size also, which is 2. Then it means it will start from index 0, it will go up to 5, which is exclusive, that is 0 to 4, and at the jump of 2. So accordingly, we get the element. So in array at index 1, 0 or 1, we have element 12, so 12 is coming here. 0 to 5, that is 0 to 4, because 5 is exclusive, we get elements at index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the same here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we access elements at the jump of 2, so basically is index 0, then we skip 1, then go to index 2, and so on. So 0, skip 1, go to 2, skip next, go to next, and so we get 10, 14, and 18. So far so good up to here. Now we are going to cover two-dimensional arrays. So what I've done is I've taken a list of lists. So basically it's just a list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and all these lists are encapsulated in another list. So basically it's a list of lists. And using the same method, np.array, we create a two-dimensional array. There it is. Now to just confirm how many dimensions it is having, so we can use .ndim. So the array name .ndim, it gives 2. It means it is this particular object is having 2 dimensions. And what is the shape? We say 2 dimensions or 2 axes. That's the same thing that I said earlier. Now shape is the number of elements which are present in a particular dimension. So if I say dot shape 3 comma 3, it means there are 2 dimensions and each dimension is having 3 elements. So basically, to make it easy understand, this is axis 0 and this is axis 1, because index starts at 0 in Python. So in axis 0 it says 3, so it means there are 3 elements in axis 0. So what are these? Basically rows are here. This particular row is at axis, these particular rows are in axis 0, and individual columns are in axis. This particular column 147, 258, and 367 are in axis 1. So since it's a square matrix, so it's 3 by 3. Okay. Now let's create another array which is not a square matrix, so that will be a bit more clear. So we are again using np.arrange function. So we're giving the starting number as 1, and the maximum number is 13, which is exclusive, so that is from 1 to 12, and we are giving the shape, that is, this should, by default it creates a one-dimensional array, and which we are reshaping it in the form of 3 into 4, that is 3 rows and 4 columns. So that gets stored in the ARR2D, that is two-dimensional array, and we just simply print it. Yep. Okay, to check the dimensions, again we use .ndim, so it is having 2 dimensions, and to find out what is the shape of it, that is how many elements are in individual axes, so we use the shape. So it says there are 3 elements in axis 0, that is dimension 0, and 4 elements in axis 1, that is dimension 1. So what are these 3 elements in axis 0? Basically these are 3 rows, so row 1, row 2, and row 3. Yeah, and the next axis is axis 1, which is says 4. There are 4 elements in axis 1, which means columns. So first column, second column, third column, and fourth column. That's how we specify. Now next is how to access elements of a two-dimensional array. So the method is we use the array name and then within the square bracket we specify the indexes. So first we specify the index of axis 0, then comma, then index of the next axis, axis 1. If it is more than two dimensions, again we keep on specifying comma, index of axis 2 and so on. So let's say we want to access this particular element 6. Okay, so we have to give ARR2D, which is the name of the array, square bracket, then it is then the x we have to give the index of the first axis. First axis means row. In which row it is coming? C, because the index starts at 0. So row 0 and this is row 1. So this is row 1. So here we give 1. And what is the column? 0 column and first column. So it is first column. So ARR2D11 gives the value of 6. Now let's say we have to access all elements of a row at index 2. So row means row at index 2 means row at index, this is row at index 0, this is row at index 1, and this is row at index 2. Now if you want to access all the elements of this particular row, we give ARR2D, which is the name of the array, and within square bracket we just have to give 2. 2 means this is the index of row, or we can say index at axis 0. And if we don't give the index of next axis, then it will take all the elements of the next axis. Since if we are not giving index of next axis, then it was taking all the elements. So basically it will return this particular complete row. Another way is, alternative way, you can specify just giving colon. So that also means all the elements of that particular axis. Yep. So basically these two are synonymous and return the same result. Just like we accessed all the elements of a particular row, similarly we can access all the elements of a particular column. Let's say we want to access all the elements of column at index 1. So we have how many columns? We have, as you see from the shape, there are 4 columns: column at index 0, column at index 1, column at index 2, column at index 3. Okay, now we want to access all the elements of column at index 1. So starting from here, index 0 and column at index 1. So basically this column is 2, 6 and 10. So we want all the elements, basically all the elements of column 1. It means all the elements from all the rows at column 1. So what we have to give is, this is the array name and we want elements from all the rows. So we give colon, it means all the rows, comma, and then we have to give 1. This is the index of column 1. Then it will return 2, 6 and 10. This is what it is, 2, 6 and 10. So basically, as we said, colon means all the elements of particular axis. Yeah. Next comes summing up along a particular axis. This is a very important to understand. Sometimes there is a confusion in understanding, so let's go through it. So let's say we print the axis, we print the two-dimensional area again here. Okay, so what is the shape? How many rows it is having? 1 row, 2 row, and 3 row. So number of elements in axis 0 is 3. So it is 3. 3 rows, and 4 is the number of columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the number of element in axis 1 or dimension 1. Now we have to sum along the axis 0. Sum along the axis 0 means that is sum along the axis 0. Axis 0 here represents rows. So we have to sum along all these rows. That is sum this row, then sum this, take this row, plus this row, plus this row. So how do we sum it? So if we take this row and this row, then we have to sum the elements at their individual places. That is, we sum 1 plus 5, then the next element will be 2 plus 6, and the next element will be 3 plus 7, and the next element will be 4 plus 8. Similarly, if we take another one, so what it means, sum 1 plus 5 plus 9, that will be first element, then sum 2 plus 6 plus 10, second element, and so on. So sum along the axis 0 means take elements at the axis 0 and sum it up. So it will sum along the axis 0 means sum along the rows here. Okay, so row 1, row 2, row 3, these will be summed up. So this row and this row get summed up. What we get, 1 plus 5 plus 9 is 15, 2 plus 6 plus 10 is 18, 7, 3, 10 plus 11, 21, and last one is 24. Just to make it understand a bit more. So what are the elements at x is 0? So element at x is 0 means rows. So this is row at index 0, this row 1, 2, 3, 4, row at index 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, row at index 2, this. So we are summing it up. It means 1 plus 5 plus 9, here becomes 15, and so on. So that is what means summing up along the axis. 0 means summing along the rows. That is, we have to sum along this direction. The other way is we can sum along the axis 1 means sum along the axis 1 means sum along the columns. So how many columns are there? There are 4 columns. So we have to sum it along the columns. So here we have columns. How do we specify it? np.sum, then the array name and x is equals to 1. Then it will sum it up. So sum along the columns means how many columns are there? We have 4 columns. Okay. So let's print these columns individually. First column is 159. 159. Second column is 2, 6, 10, 3, 7, 11, and 4, 8, 12. So we have printed here column 1, column 2, column at index 0, column at index 1, column at index 2, column at index 3, and so on. Then we sum it up, we get 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is 4, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 10. And similarly, 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 is 26, 9 plus 10 is 19, and 11, 20, 30, and 12 is 42. So this is what we get. So just to simplify it, you understand what are the individual elements present at that particular axis, and then we have to find out the sum by summing up the elements at their respective positions. So that's how we can find out the sum at a particular axis 0 and axis 1. We'll cover more things in NumPy in the next sessions. That's it for now. Thank you.